Hey everyone, Paul here, and in this video I want to walk through the correlation between Moderna stock price and Zoom stock price, because when you think about these two stocks, and we have them right here, so Moderna is going to be the blue line, Zoom is going to be that yellow line, but when you think about Moderna and you think about Zoom, these are two stocks that you would mostly expect to be moving in the opposite direction, because Zoom is really going to be a play on, a stay at home longer, that, we can't interface face to face, and so you need to jump on a Zoom call. That's kind of the story there, where of course Moderna is the story about the vaccine, and the quicker the vaccine or the more successful that's going to be, the worse it's going to be for Zoom. Not to say they still can't be a viable company, but it would be a headwind for them and vice versa. So what's kind of interesting is that if we look at this over the past year, we can kind of see the relationship here. And it gets pretty interesting, right around this point. So right around September, we see that there's this widening gap where Zoom started to really outperform relative to Moderna. So the run up kind of all through the summer, after we kind of had that initial outbreak and the crash in March, we saw both of these stocks kind of moving up together. So there is, again, hope for a vaccine, but at the same time, again, that positivity for Zoom, because everybody being forced to work remotely, that was driving growth there. So again, you got the optimism of the vaccine, working remotely, they're both doing well. And then we get to the point where, it's late August, and we start to see the pretty big divergence where, again, Zoom starts doing really, really well, Moderna not doing as well relative to Zoom. And then we reach a point where in the middle of October, Zoom, had reached a high, and they started to pull back. And while they were pulling back, Moderna was surging forward. So again, we have that relationship that we would expect. Zoom is falling, and the expectation that maybe we're getting closer to a vaccine, Moderna is correspondingly rallying with that. Okay, so we see that there. But what's kind of really interesting, and the reason I want to kind of call this out, is that now in the last week or so, or the last 10 days, it looks like they're actually starting to rally together again, which to me, it kind of suggests that one of those is going to prove to be incorrect. So we look at this, and again, we see Zoom and Moderna have both been increasing, and we can take a look at that over here individually as well. So if we take a look at the 5-day history here for Moderna, and we go and we take a look from the market open on November 19th, we can see that they're actually up about 8.82%. And then we will take a look at Zoom as well. We'll take that same time period. So November 19th at market open, 9:30 here, and they are up 7.48. So they're up by fairly comparable amounts. And I feel like these are stocks that, again, I would be expecting to move in opposite directions. So for me personally, I actually think Zoom is actually really overvalued at their current price. I think there's been a lot of hype around that. I think kind of by the same token, I think that Moderna is kind of overpriced as well. I think, again, there's been a lot of hype around their vaccine. And, I put a longer analysis together on Moderna. I'd encourage you to check that out if you want a little bit more in-depth. I want to do a quick recap here. But with Moderna, I think, even if they were going to be, producing this vaccine, for the next 20 years, and they were going to be, manufacturing 500 million doses, I really don't see, from a fundamental perspective, how their valuation makes sense. So what we have here are two stocks that are rallying together. I don't think makes sense that they're rallying together. I think they're both really overvalued. So I actually put in a short position on each of them, thinking that, hey, I'm protected to some extent to say that if the vaccine does really, really well, I'm going to be, offset by hopefully some negativity hitting Zoom and vice versa. But then the best possible case would be to say that, hey, eventually the market wakes up and realizes that both of these are pretty overvalued. So that was my quick recap on this. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Are you currently investing in Moderna, Zoom? Are you swing trading these, holding these for the long term? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.